Hello, I'm at episode number 392 of the TEW 2028 Challenge Run. This is going to be Raw for week 1 of August 2023. We're finally in August. Finally on the road to SummerSlam, a month after real life. But SummerSlam for me is always a lot later because they've moved it to the start of August. They even did it at the end of fucking July last year, so to me SummerSlam's still mid-August. That's where my brain puts it all the time, so yeah. But yeah, we are continuing the road to SummerSlam. We've got a couple of big matches set here tonight, including a triple threat main event. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Kairi Sane. Winner goes to SummerSlam to wrestle Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship. We also have an IC title match, Sheamus against Wes Lee. And we definitely have another match announced, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Oh, I'm DIY in the Cyclone with SummerSlam implications there as well. Without any more further ado, though, let's jump straight into the show. We start with Drew McIntyre in the ring. He's already in there. He doesn't make an entrance. He's already in the ring. I do the spotlight on a sitting chair promo far too much. He's probably just stood there. And he's getting shrouded by boos after what happened last week. He says, "So, what do you guys want to talk about?" I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about you guys. I want to talk about how for years, Drew McIntyre, he was the chosen one, not just for WWE, but by the fans. The WWE Universe had handpicked me as the number one guy here on Raw. Okay? Vince McMahon handpicked me as a future world champion, 15 years ago? And I lived up to that promise. I'm the top guy here right now. And yet, all I hear about is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes this, he finished the story. Cody Rhodes, he's the face of Monday Night Raw. Do you know who the damn franchise player is around here? You see, Cody's a faker. Cody never once finished his story. Okay? So here's a little reality check about Cody Rhodes, eh? You want to see my story? Here's my story. Okay? I was, a young prospect here in WWE, came up around late 2000s. Made my mark here on the WWE main roster. I was primed to be one of the top stars of this generation. And for a while there, I was on that right track, and then somewhere along the way, it all sort of just fell apart. It fell apart not because of me, but because I was being held back by the machine. The same machine that had seemingly backed me all those years earlier, to the point where I ended up being stuck in a stupid character that wasn't me, that I didn't want to be a part of. So, I got fired, and I went out, and I made WWE regret their decision to fire me, because I knew I had a chip on my shoulder. I knew I'd be back one day to prove myself right and them wrong. And I did that. I came back to WWE. I made my mark here on Raw, became one of the top guys here on the main roster, and then what do? I win the Royal Rumble. I punch my ticket to WrestleMania, and in the main event of WrestleMania, I pin the WWE Champion, and I finally become WWE Champion. Now that whole scenario sounds familiar, does it not? Because Cody runs around here like he's your hero, like Cody's finished his story, because that's not true. Cody Rhodes did not finish Cody's story. I did. Cody stole my story and used it to pounder himself up to you guys because you need a new hero on Raw, not because Drew McIntyre wasn't good enough. So, once I saw Cody, once I win that WWE Championship, I knew I knew what had to be done. I knew I had to stay close to this man, this guy who many were looking at as my replacement here on Raw. And when he was at his weakest, his most vulnerable, back in the same building that his father failed to win the championship, the same building that last year he failed to win the championship, I'd lower the boom and I'd cut his story to a tragic end, because you see, Cody can run around here thinking he's the hero. He's just a Drew McIntyre wannabe. Okay? Because your story, Cody, it's not unique. It's not original. It's not endearing. It's a rerun. And at SummerSlam, this is my challenge to you. I finish your story. And once again start my next story. The story of Drew McIntyre. Not the people's franchise player, but his own franchise player. Drops the mic. Storms out. We then cut from that to... We see Becky arriving in the parking lot. She's like, got her bag, and then she enters the arena when Kathy Kelly greets her. Like, Becky, you know, you made your return back at Evolution. You were in that 6-woman tag team match last week, and tonight is your first, like, single match as a singles competitor back here in WWE. Because Kathy, you know, not everybody can walk back after over a year away, you know, creating life and be given a chance to become a world champion. But when you're the man, of course, those sort of opportunities are given because you've earned them for all these years. Okay, so Kyrie thinks she's going to go to Japan. Charlotte thinks she's getting another shot. Well, listen here, because it may have been a long time. You may have forgotten who the hell I am. And tonight I'm going to remind you all. And then, from out of nowhere, Becky's jumped by Rhea Ripley. Rhea starts jumping. I goes, huh? What you doing? You think you could just walk back here and take my spot? Huh? And then Rhea slams her around, tosses her into the walls and shit. Like, just attacks her. Probably pulverizes an arm or a leg or something. And then Boogs goes, hey, Rhea, go away. And of course, when Boogs runs in, Rhea, squares out to him. Because Rhea has already attacked Rick Boogs once. So he knows that she can put him out for a bit. So he sort of slowly backs away. He's like, please go away. And Rhea just laughs and goes, pathetic. I'll leave, but not on your account. Just stop giving people like this my opportunities. And she walks off, and we zoom in on Becky. You know, the medic's checking on Becky. She's been jumped by Rhea. Oh, 88 for this, really? I mean, it's good because it's two of my top tag teams, but the match doesn't go very long, and it has a fucky finish because, you know, the finish is it's DIY and the Cyclone. Ricochet was sort of an ass, unprompted to Johnny Gargano last week. It's like, losing runs in the family, referring to Candice, obviously losing a women's title. And so when them two are the legal men, they take it to the fight to the outside, and they just brawl on the outside, and the referee counts to 10, and they both get counted out. So we're no closer to finding out who's going to challenge for the Raw Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam, I guess. 73 for Ciampa, 95 for Gargano, and a 94 for both members of the Cyclone. And after the match, Gargano and Ricochet keep brawling. Ciampa and Bronson Reed probably, look at each other in the ring, should we break that up? Because they are still both babyface tag teams, it's just these two specifically have some issues. So, Ciampa and Reed, they don't really hate each other. So they just look at each other in the ring we should probably do something here. And they both go out and grab their respective partners. And then, carry them to the back. Or through the crowd, through different, areas of the crowd. Then cut back, we're in the LWO's locker room. Ray's with the group this time. Andrade, Selena, Cruz. And yeah, it's just those... Well, Joaquin could be there, but he's not in the segment because he's injured. And he goes, guys, I know it's been an interesting couple of weeks, Conan, I reached out to him for a favour. He's an old friend, and, I think he could really be someone who's of use to the LWO, and I think he's already been a great use, with that Jorge Santana guy. And so he's like, yeah, well, last week some bitch that, I've never seen before in my life came up to me and said that Conan sent her, and then she fucked me over in this tag team match. And Ray goes, yes, I know, I've been trying to speak to him all week. I can't quite get a hold of him. I've been trying to, reach him. And then Dom walks in with Anthony Nese, and he goes, well, that wouldn't be, Rey Mysterio failing to, be a leader, be a father figure here, would it? God, gee, where have I heard that one before? And Ray's like, Dom, this doesn't concern you. I know you seem to be getting back in my business, but can you just... This is LWO business. And Dom goes, oh, LWO business, okay. Well, do any of the LWO have a match tonight? Didn't think so, Ray, because you're terrible at being a father figure. And the sooner these guys realize it and come see my sense, the sooner we'll all be okay. And Anthony goes, well, if none of these guys have got a match tonight, how about Dom here, Dirty Dom here, faces Andrade in singles action? And Dom sort of looks confused, like, no, I don't want to do that. Andrade steps up and says, sounds like a great idea. But here's my pitch, okay? You leave this little man in the back, and I'll leave all the ill members of the LWO in the back. And then we can see who the better man is one-on-one. Dom's like, fine. See you out there, punk. So yeah, Andrade and Dominik later on tonight. We then cut to Kathy standing outside the medical room, and she's like, well, we saw running on tonight, Becky Lynch, that savage attack by Rhea Ripley, head of tonight's main event. We just want to get a check-up on her. And then the door slams open, and Becky starts hobbling out. It's like, Becky, what's the status out there? She's like, I'm fine, okay? I'm here to become the #1 contender for the WWE Women's Championship, and I'm not going to let Rhea Ripley's attack stop me from getting that shot, okay? Because she thinks she can take me out. Many people have tried to take me out through the years, Kathy, and it ain't going to work like that. And then Rhea storms in again, and again continues the attack on Becky, and this time Batista steps in. And he shoves Rhea away and goes, hey, get off her, okay? We've already had you suspended from this damn show once already. You're not going to learn your lesson? You're not going to learn your lesson. Rhea, stop this, okay? Because next time something like this happens, the consequences will be worse for you. And Rhea's like, okay, big scary Dave, okay? Again, I'll leave, but might want to check on the man down here. She's looking in a bit of pain. And Batista sees and goes, Becky, we can't let you compete tonight. She's like, I'm fine. I'm going out there and I'm competing in that main event. Batista goes, well, we'll have to get you checked again, but that's not looking good. 70, For the time limit it went, that's fine. Just a short match. Tatum and Ivy pick up the win over the Platinum Princesses. Ivy submits Skylar with that sleeper. 70 for Tatum, 69 for Ivy, 81 for Skylar, 72 for Aaliyah. Then after the match, Tatum and Ivy take to the mic. And they go, so, we got good news and bad news, obviously, because, we thought we got rid of Alexa Bliss once and for all running this show, and we did. But now, Alexa thinks she's some sort of, spooky bitch again. But the good news is, at SummerSlam, we'll be able to put an end to Alexa's little charade. I don't know what Nikki Cross or whoever that guy with the hood was. I don't know about any of that, but at SummerSlam, we're going to end it all because Alexa... remember WrestleMania? You couldn't exactly get the job done against me then. So, what makes this any different? Then we hear Alexa's giggling from over the sound system. She's on the top. She's like, "Oh, look who it is! It's my bestest friends in the whole wide world. Hey Tatum, hey Ivy, how you doing? I'm just sitting here, little old me, just chilling in my playground, as old people should do." Thinking about, SummerSlam and this trip to Tokyo that us and our little friends are going to go on. It sure is exciting. It sure is a great time to get revenge on those who have stabbed me in the back, those who have betrayed me over the years. And then Nikki, who also walks in the frame, she goes, "It's time, Lexi. to unleash the greatest version of yourself. And I can't think of two better first targets than your old little friends in the ring. Because those shiny little objects they've got, they took everything from you, Lexi. It's time to take everything from them. And they both just start laughing as Tatum and Ivy just sort of look up like a mixture of confused and concerned, you know, because what the fuck, this is weird. We then see, I actually have a reference now. So Shinsuke, in real life, these sick new promos he's been doing in this feud with Seth, yeah, he just get one of those of him training in like a dojo and him talking about what he's going to do to Montez Ford and he's going to take that money in the bank and Tez is going to regret, you know, taking that match from him. And then once the promo finishes, we see that like Tez and Bianca are backstage watching it on a screen. Bianca's like, Tez, you know, you sure you're good for this, you know, SummerSlam? And Tez goes, yeah, you know, I've got something up my sleeve, BB, don't worry about me. You coming? And she's like, nah, I've got to stay here. Apparently I'm a heat tonight, you know. Apparently, imagine not having room for your franchise player on Raw. I mean, this show is just... Okay, well, I've been disrespected enough, but I guess I've got to do heat. So I'll do heat, and I'll catch you later, Tez. And then Tez leaves. Bianca just sort of watches. She's clearly concerned about Nakamura. And Tez is no-selling the whole thing, but who knows if he's really concerned or not. We then cut backstage. Brooks, Jensen, and Otis are there. J-Flow shirt on Brooks, simp hat. Otis is there, you know, cut up shirt with his belly hanging out. And then they're like, probably just fucking about, doing blue collar boys things. When Imperium walk up disgusted. And Gunther goes, what has this industry become? That people like you are sharing the same locker room as guys like Imperium. You say the mat is sacred. Is anything sacred to you? Apart from maybe donuts. No, it goes, oh yeah. I'll have you know, there's a lot of things sacred to Bulldozer, you know. Ham, you know, pork, you know, bacon. And Brooks is like, shush, Otis, shush. And then Ludwig goes, well, it seems that Imperium need a warm-up ahead of this challenge from those rapscallions Edge and Christian for SummerSlam. And I can't think of two better buffoons to make an example out of than the two buffoons that stand before me right here, right now. And Brooks like, I mean, that sounds like a challenge. So, you're wrong, we don't back down from a challenge. And then Vinci walks up and he just like looks him up and down. He's in his suit and sunglasses. He like looks over the top of his sunglasses, like shakes his head at how they're dressed and goes, we'll see you out there. And he just walks off. So yeah, later on tonight, Otis and Brooks against Ludwig and Giovanni Vinci. Should be a hoot. Speaking of hoots, as we announced last week, Sheamus and Wes Lee for the IC title. They've got pretty good chemistry, which, you know, makes sense. I imagine this would be a pretty fun match. Yeah, you know, Sheamus wins, and they're not going to hide it too much. He beats Wes Lee 14-24 with a bro kick to make defense number 3 of the IC title. 88 for Sheamus, 80 for Wes Lee. And Sheamus again stands tall. He's running through the opposition as it comes to him. Who can stop the reign of the Celtic Warrior? Finally, the Intercontinental Champion. Sheamus gives his respect to Wes Lee. After the match, you know, he shakes his hand. And then Wes leaves. And Sheamus holds his style up high, goes up top. He poses with the belt when the crowd sort of like, oh. And then when he turns around, he's dropped by an RKO. Randy Orton sort of like looks down at him. Looks over the IC title. Picks it up and he holds it up high over the down Sheamus. So, Randy Orton, of all people, has seemingly taken aim at the Intercontinental Championship. We then get a backstage interview. Kathy Kelly's with AJ and Finn. And she goes, AJ Finn, we thought we were going to get one step closer to finding out who was going to challenge you for those titles at SummerSlam tonight, but that match with DIY and the Cyclone didn't really end the way we wanted it to. And AJ goes, well, first of all, Kathy, before we talk about championship duty, I want to send our well wishes to the American Nightmare, a friend of mine, Cody Rhodes. Last week, he and Drew McIntyre gave us a fight, and we managed to keep hold of these championships, and what happened after that match was disgraceful. And I'm sure Cody will be back next week to address and get right that wrong that was Drew McIntyre's betrayal of the American Nightmare. And Finn goes, I mean, I do now hold a pinfall victory over the WWE Champion, Kathy, but that's the WWE Championship. What matters is these Raw Tag Team Championships, and you're right, earlier on tonight, those two teams couldn't keep their anger under control, and now we don't know who's going to face us for these titles. When DIY and Ciampa, Gargano and Ciampa, DIY, walk in. Johnny goes, hey, what happened out there, okay, was just personal, okay? I mean, no disrespect to Ricochet, like, me and him are cool. It's just the heat of the moment, he said some things that get under my skin, and maybe next time, that won't happen again, or next time we're going to beat them, we're going to get the shot at the Tag Team Championships. And then Bronson Reed and Ricochet walk in, he goes, oh, is that so, Johnny? Because, like I said, you're not exactly winning a lot lately, and, well, you didn't prove me wrong tonight, did you? You, if anything, kind of proved my point. So, if you think you're the best tag team on Raw, or you think we're the best tag team on Raw, and AJ said, whoa. Guys, neither of you are the best tag team on Raw. Because neither of you have these titles, okay? Now, I don't know which team of you two, if either of you, we're going to face at SummerSlam. But make it one hell of a match. Because Tokyo, me and Finn know a little thing or two about the Tokyo Dome. And they expect greatness out of us too. So we expect it out of you four. And then they walk off. And then Ricochet and Bronson Reed and Gargano and Ciampa sort of just like, they just like take it all in. They're like, huh. We probably are better than this. They get a 3-minute segment. Edge and Christian are backstage. Christian walks up to Edge. He goes, hey. He goes, so about last week, he goes, don't worry. I've got the guy. Christian goes, yeah, you said that last week, but, I've also got a guy, and I think this guy's really good. This would be a great opportunity for him to be like the third member of Edge and Christian. EC and then Edge cuts him off and goes, no, it's fine. Christian, I've got a guy. It's you, it's me, and it's my guy. And trust me, you love my guy. And Christian goes, well, I don't even know if you've met my guy, but my guy's pretty cool, and if I like my guy, you'll probably love my guy. And Edge goes, yeah, I'm sure your guy is awesome, but my guy is my guy. You know my guy, and you know my guy's awesome. Christian goes, yeah, well, I also know my guy's awesome. I don't know who your guy is, so I don't know if I do know your guy's awesome. And he goes, well, my guy is awesome, and you know my guy's awesome. I don't know if your guy's awesome, and you say your guy's awesome, but I know my guy's awesome. You know my guy's awesome. I don't know if your guy's awesome. Okay? And Christian goes, sure. '81's actually pretty good for this. It's a Brooks Jensen match. So, yeah. Just a big tag win for Imperium. Vinci and Kaiser defeat the Blue Collar Boys. 12-14. Vinci pins Brooks Jensen with a frog splash. 84 for Ludwig, 83 for Vinci, 80 for Otis, and a 60 for Brooks. And after the match, Gunter comes in, he delivers that power bomb to Otis. And he grabs the mic and he goes, oi, you two idiots, get out here now. Then out come Edge and Christian. And Gunter goes, I don't want to hear any more of this awesomeness talk, any of it. You say you found a third guy? Tell me who it is. Tell me who we're going to leave laying at SummerSlam. And Christian goes, well, he's your guy. And Edge goes, don't worry. It's my guy Gunther. Back at Backlash, you took me out for a while. And I'm never going to forget that feeling, laying in a hospital bed, wondering if that I want to end my career on my terms, wondering if you'd ended it for me. But during this second running of my dream, there are certain items I wanted to check off my bucket list. Want to reunite with Randy. Want to reunite with Christian. Want to become World Heavyweight Champion. Which, that one, still on there. I wanted one more last run. One great final match to send out the greatest trio in the history of WWE. From the fire rises Gangrel. He's there. He's got his water, or not water, fucking wine, whatever it is that looks like blood. He sips it and he spits it in the air. Edge is giving him a laugh, like as he's got the fire like rising up to him. Christian sort of looks on confused, like, okay, that's your guy. I see. Going to an Imperium. Kind of no sell. They try and no sell it, but you're like, fuck the Brood. So yeah, one final run for the Brood. Gangrel's coming in for one match because fuck it, we ball. I need to have somebody over 50 on this pay-per-view. I haven't booked Jeff Jarrett, so Gangrel it is. But yeah, the Brood taking on Imperium at SummerSlam. We then see Andrade in the Gorilla getting ready for the match with Dom when up to him walks Jorge Santana. And he goes, yo. And Andrade's like, hola, aren't you allowed out here? And Santana's like, you said that no members of the LWO could be ringside. Okay, no members of the Niche Business, I'm not a member of the LWO. So, Conan sent me to watch you guys back. I've got your back. He's there, he's like swinging like that fucking sock full of quarters all around while he's talking. Andrade goes, see. Incredible. Great workaround. You're a good guy. And he fist bumps him. And then Andrade's music plays and he heads out to the match. Oh, I was going to say, why the fuck did this do so bad? But it's because I made it slow build and it only went 14 minutes. Yeah, that one's on me. Maybe I'll run it back another week to try and get a better rating. Yeah, that's completely my fault. The match does get a 75. Andrade gets a 90. Dominik gets an 89. And Dominik wins with a roll-up. Because Santana's at ringside and he accidentally twats Andrade with the sock full of quarters. And Dominik rolls him up off it and pins him. 90 for Andrade, 89 for Dom. And he celebrates in the ring. He goes, yeah, Dominik's won. When Santana gets into the ring, Andrade is obviously livid. He says, what are you doing? Watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing. And he shoves Santana. And at that point, Santana, he's got a jacket on this whole time. His mood changes. He's no longer concerned. He takes his hat off. And we see Beatriz Vargas and Conan come out. What the hell? Come on. You're out here to help LWO. You're out here to help the LWO. And Santana then undoes a jacket, has a shirt that says Latin America Extreme. And Conan then smiles at him. He nods. He goes, get him. Andrade turns around and Santana lays Andrade out. And then he continues to beat down on Andrade, whipping the fuck out of him with the sock of quarters, a steel chair, or any sort of thing he can get his hands on. Beatrice is there probably feeding him weapons and stuff. Conan's there barking orders. And then when Santana goes to lay out Andrade again, out of rush, Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. And Rey gets into the ring to shove him off. Goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? He turns around to Conan. He goes, what is this? Is this your guy? This your guy? And then Conan just looks at Rey. He goes, I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And then Santana jumps Ray from behind. Konnan sort of like, he orders him to attack Ray, but like you can tell he's still hesitant because he is still friends with Ray. And then Zelina and Beatrice are brawling around ringside. But then because Andrade gets up and he helps Ray fight off Jorge, Dominik springs into life. And Dominik helps Santana fight off Andrade and Ray. Probably takes Andrade down, shoves him to the outside or whatever. And then when the other members of the LWO come out, they can like take care of them. I think it's just Cruz. Because Joaquin's in, yeah, it would just be Cruz. So yeah, they can take care of him as well when he runs out. And then Dominik, he drop kicks Andrade, or probably no Ray, into the back. Has him leaning up against the second rope. And he goes for a 619 when Andy and he's like, Ray, Dom, come on. This isn't our fight, you know? This isn't our fight, Dom, come on. This isn't niece business. This is LWO business, okay? You did it. You beat your dad again. You can go. And Dominik goes, Why? Why should I keep listening to you? Okay? You have done nothing for me. You made me Cruiserweight champion, but you made me lose that Cruiserweight championship. You keep losing every time I team with you to face my dad. Okay? You are holding me back. This man is a true believer in the Mysterio family. This man truly has my best interests at heart. And this man knows the best way to take out my deadbeat dad. And then Dom shoves Annie Nice to the floor. Nice is in shock. He can't believe what's just happened. He probably has to like walk to the back of his head in his hands. He can't believe Dom's just done that to him. And then Dom does hit a 619 on Ray. And then Konnan, Santana, Beatrice, and Dominik stand tall, like raising each other's arms in the air. Interesting turn of events. A lot to take in there. I understand, so like I'm going to give it a little bit to breathe so you can take in everything that's just happened. So what has just happened is Konnan, Santana, Beatrice are all in cahoots to take down Ray, I guess. And I guess also help Dominik? ? But he shoved Annie Nice to the floor, so their relationship's also in question. Huh. Just a quick 2-minute video here showcasing Zergus. You know, him just doing dragon things, like probably on a mountain, training, choke slamming the fuck out of random people. And yeah, how he was always more than just a pet sidekick, more than a fun little masked man to laugh at and say, hey look, there's our little dragon. He's a real vicious killer, and if we ever see Humberto again, that time will be the last. 71, I guess that's okay. Ashley Scott and Roxy Perez. Again, Ashley Scott is not actually a member of this roster, but she's like the most perfect person to bring in because she's like the third door of AJ. So I can leave Cora where she is and just keep using her. So she's Roxy's stand-in tag team partner against Double Trouble. And it is Double Trouble to pick up the win. Anne-Marie Porter submits Ashley Scott with the Queen Slayer. Because during the match, AJ takes out Roxy. You know, standard stuff. 65 for Kelsey, 68 for Anne-Marie, 72 for Roxy, and a 39 for Ashley. Pretty acceptable stuff. We then go backstage. Batista's in his office when Boogs walks in. He goes, Dave, you know, tonight's been wild. You know, what's the situation with Becky? Dave goes, as I told her, we can't have her competing tonight in the main event. She's not medically cleared. Boogs goes, so what's going to happen to our main event? Is the main event cancelled? Peace goes, well, it'll now just be Kyrie and Charlotte 1-on-1, with the winner going to SummerSlam to face Sasha Banks. Boogs goes, man, that sucks, you know. This was Becky's first match back as a singles competitor in over a year, you know. People are going to want to see that now, being robbed of it because of Rhea Ripley. Batista goes, don't worry. Next week, I'll take care of Rhea Ripley. Speaking of next week, we've got a pretty wild show. Starting off with this match you never thought you'd see because you never once thought about it. Montez Ford and Minoru Suzuki are going to go one-on-one on Raw. You know, Tez has got Nakamura at SummerSlam. He got Suzuki next week. And he saw that video, he knows how that training goes, so it could be a tough fight for Tez against the Japanese legend. And that's not all, because we're also going to see Alexa Bliss back in action. When we get a WrestleMania rematch, Alexa Bliss takes on Tatum Paxley in singles action. And then we also have championship action. Following on from his attack on Sheamus earlier on tonight, the Celtic Warrior has demanded he put the championship on the line against Randy Orton on next week's episode of Raw. And that's not all, because the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, returns to Raw, where he will address the attack from Drew McIntyre and his comments and SummerSlam challenge laid out earlier tonight. But moving on from next week's Raw, we have a new official match set for SummerSlam, and that is the 6-man tag team match as Imperium's Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci take on, for one night only, they're back together, Edge, Christian and Gangrel. The entire brood faces off with Imperium at SummerSlam in Tokyo in 2 weeks from Saturday or Sunday, depending on what day this is on. 92. Yeah, I'll take 92. I thought it was going to get dinged because of the finish, but yeah, 92 is fine. So yeah, the singles match is Kyrie vs Charlotte, and we still have no idea who's going to SummerSlam because this is a double pin. Yeah. Actually, no, I imagine the finish is Charlotte probably like hits a big boot or something, and then tries to roll her up. It's like a backslide or something, but then Kyrie would like hook as well as Charlotte goes with the backslide, but the referee counts the 1, 2, 3, and he only sees Charlotte. And then after the match, another referee will run out like, no, Kyrie got the pin as well. So then we get the finish where Rod Zapata holds up Kyrie's arm, Frank Gastineau holds up Charlotte's arm. Like, yeah, boo, and Sasha gets off them. She was on comms the whole time. Sasha was on color comms the whole time. She's like, no, look, referees, like, get out of the ring, okay? This is champ business, this is boss business, okay? So you two both think you've got what it takes, huh? You're both really great. You both think you're going to SummerSlam to try and challenge me for the WWE Women's Championship. Charlotte goes, yeah, that's right. And Kyrie's like, yeah. It's like, well, you know, since we don't have a winner here tonight, you could say you're both winners. And your grand prize is to go to the Tokyo Dome. Charlotte, Kyrie, I'll see both of you at SummerSlam. Holds the belt up high. Imagine she's still on the announce table as she says it. Gunther style. But yes, we didn't get a clean finish in the main event, but don't worry, we have... Sasha has a brain in her head. Unlike, I guess, whoever runs the tag team division. Yeah. Triple threat set for SummerSlam. Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Kairi Sane. Should be a fun one. 94 raid show. Pretty fucking sick. A lot happened on this show. The thing with SummerSlam being 4 weeks build up is every show is going to be like bang, 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 bang as I get all my beats I want to hit. So yeah. That includes this next show, which is Heat, which we know will feature Bianca Belair. See you on the other side. Bianca comes out to kick off Heat. And she's like, so I guess, the EST, the franchise of Monday Night Raw. Apparently, Raw's too busy to have its franchise player on tonight. So, here I am, making a stop at Heat, I believe, maybe for the first time ever. You guys who are staying around at the end of Raw actually get treated to something special, because you get treated to Bianca Belair, the EST. Okay, so, while, I may be the face of Raw, I've not really stepped into this division, so I thought I would step here to, see what's going on, see who runs this yard, but we all know it's going to be me, because I'm the franchise player. Nobody on the show who can step to me can take that mantra away from me. I'll come next gen. And Gabby's like, Bianca, you know, it's been a long time, you know, I don't think we've ever actually been introduced, okay? In fact, I know we haven't, because if we had, you'd know who runs Heat, okay? You may think you're the franchise player here, but this is our show, okay? We dominate this show, and we've taken out the old guard, okay? The old guard is yesterday's news, as they should have been. But we're the future. So they only leaves the present, Bianca, and they don't become much more present than the franchise player. So, if you want to prove that Heat's your yard, we can kick you off the yard tonight in the main event when you face Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Pointing at Nene, because Nene's the muscle, and she gets in Bianca's face. And Bianca goes, I see ya. You're a big girl too, huh? I welcome the challenge. Kev's like, is that a yes? Did the great Bianca Belair agree to our challenge, girls? And goes, yeah, she did. I'll see you in the main event. So yeah, our main event is announced. Nene Arizawa of Next Gen, taking on the franchise player of Raw, Bianca Belair. And before then, we've got more matches to get through. 78 is actually pretty fucking good for Danny Jordan versus Deonna Purrazzo. Danny Jordan picked up the win. She's lost a couple of times to Charlotte, so we'll probably give her a rebound win. She's like a solid babyface mid-carder at this point. So yeah. She gets a 77, Deonna gets a 68. Big win for Danny. And then the other tag team match here is KC2 against the Fierce and the Fabulous. A match I believe I have run before, but a while ago, so we're running it back. And it is Carmella and Shayna who pick up the win. Shayna submits Kaden Carter with a Kirifuda clutch. 57 for Kaden Carter, 71 for Katana Chance, 57 for Carmella, and a 77 for Shayna Baszler. And then we head to the main event, which gets 75. Okay, not terrible, but Bianca had to try and carry Nene up. Because again, doing Nexus-like angles in this game is bad because they don't get popularity very quickly. Hence, the finish here is Bianca gets Nene up for the KOD when the rest of Next Gen run in and attack her, so Bianca does win, but it's by disqualification. We keep Nene strong, she doesn't eat the pin, and the rest of Next Gen leave Bianca Belair laying and they attack her to close out the night, but as they attack her, outruns Candice LeRae. She storms to the ring and she takes a chair to everybody. She originally gets the wind. She takes everybody down, hits them with a chair. And then eventually the numbers game does get on top of them. They all attack Candice. Bianca's in the corner, so I'm recovering, watching this, what the fuck's going on. And then Florence, Killer Kelly, and Lyra Valkyria also run out. And they try and even the odds. But then of course they are still outnumbered. Nene, the lone one, she tries to 2-on-1 attack one of them. When Bianca would pull her off and hit her with the hair, finally hit that KOD to send her laying, and then all the Next Gen girls do get sent packing one by one. As Candice, Florence, Killer Kelly, and Lyra sort of celebrate together, Bianca sort of watches on from afar. And Candice sort of turns around and looks at Bianca. Bianca looks at her back. And Candice offers a handshake out to Bianca Belair. And Bianca looks down at it, looks up at Candice. She's like, sure. And she shakes Candice's hand. And yeah, apparently a new united front against Next Gen is Candice, Florence, the Birds of Prey, and Bianca Belair. And yeah, that ends Heat. Short but very effective show because, stuff's happening. We bookended it with 2 blue segments, so yeah. But yeah, that's all for this show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for No, I won't. I'll see you next time for the second episode of the new ECW. See you then.